A rare and emotional moment unfolded as Princess Charlotte, just 7 years old, broke down in tears on live TV. Her heartfelt display of grief captivated millions, offering an unfiltered glimpse into the humanity of the royal family and leaving viewers around the world deeply moved. The passing of the Queen has been a national grief for the UK, but a little kid of such deep emotional expression? Now, this is a sensitive story to tell. Stay tuned and learn why the state funeral sparked such tears in the little princess. As Britain's longest reigning monarch, she had been a steadfast presence in public life for over 7 decades, a symbol of continuity and dedication in an ever-changing world. Her death triggered an outpouring of grief and reflection, not only in her homeland, but also across the globe, where countless individuals felt a personal connection to her unwavering service. The funeral, held on September 19, 2022, was a monumental occasion steeped in tradition and solemnity. It brought together an extraordinary gathering of world leaders, dignitaries, and notable figures from across the Commonwealth and beyond. The event served as both a tribute to Queen Elizabeth's remarkable legacy and an opportunity for the public to express their deep respect and gratitude for her decades of service. Thousands lined the streets of London to watch the funeral procession, while millions tuned in from home, witnessing history unfold as the nation bid farewell to its beloved Queen. For the royal family, the occasion was more than a public spectacle or a state affair. It was an intensely personal moment of grief and reflection. Behind the grandeur of the ceremonies lay the reality of losing a mother, grandmother, and great-grandmother. Each member of the family grappled with their loss in their way, balancing their private emotions with the demands of fulfilling their public roles. Amid the grandeur and solemnity of the day, one moment stood out and resonated deeply with people around the world. During the funeral, Princess Charlotte, the 7-year-old daughter of Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales, was seen wiping away tears as she paid her respects to her great-grandmother. The image of the young royal, so clearly moved by the gravity of the moment, captured hearts globally and sparked an emotional response. Princess Charlotte, often seen in carefully curated public appearances alongside her siblings, Prince George and Prince Louis, displayed a rare vulnerability that day. While the royal family is known for their composure and stoicism, particularly during times of mourning, Charlotte's reaction served as a poignant reminder of the human element behind the royal facade. This fleeting yet powerful moment sparked conversations across social media and beyond. Many were struck by the weight of the occasion on such a young child and praised her bravery for participating in such a formal and emotionally charged event. Others reflected on the symbolic nature of her presence at the funeral, representing the continuity of the monarchy and the new generation of royals stepping into the public eye. The sight of Princess Charlotte wiping away her tears also highlighted the Queen's impact as a matriarch within her family. While Queen Elizabeth II was known to the world as a monarch and a stateswoman, to her great-grandchildren, she was simply Gan Gan, a term of endearment that underscores the personal relationships she cherished within her family. Her influence extended beyond her public duties to the values and traditions she passed down to her descendants. For many, Charlotte's tears evoked memories of past royal funerals, where moments of vulnerability from young royals have left lasting impressions. Comparisons were drawn to a young Prince William and Prince Harry walking behind Princess Diana's coffin in 1997, a poignant reminder of how the personal and the public are intertwined for members of the royal family. In this moment of collective mourning, the image of Princess Charlotte became a symbol of unity, vulnerability, and hope. It reminded the world that even amid centuries-old traditions and the weight of history, the royal family is ultimately a family, navigating grief and change like anyone else. As the world reflected on Queen Elizabeth II's extraordinary life and legacy, moments like these, quiet, personal, and deeply human, resonated most profoundly, reminding everyone of the shared humanity that binds us all. Charlotte, dressed impeccably in a black coat and a matching hat, stood solemnly alongside her older brother, Prince George, as the world watched. The two young royals, just 7 and 9 years old respectively, had been carefully prepared for the gravity of the occasion. As members of the royal family, their lives have always been intertwined with tradition and duty, even from a young age. Yet, despite any amount of preparation, no training or guidance can completely shield a child from the profound sadness of losing someone they love. The passing of their great-grandmother, Queen Elizabeth II, marked a deeply personal loss for them, as it did for the rest of their family. As the funeral procession unfolded, the weight of the moment was palpable. The somber tolling of bells, the echoing footsteps of guards, and the hushed crowd created an atmosphere of deep respect and mourning. For Charlotte, who had always been described as poised and composed during public appearances, the sheer emotion of the day became undeniable. Tears welled in her eyes, and as she instinctively reached up to wipe them away, the poignant display of her grief resonated with millions. This simple human reaction stood in stark contrast to the meticulously orchestrated ceremonies surrounding the Queen's funeral. Charlotte's tears were a raw and unfiltered expression of loss, a reminder that even within the confines of royal tradition, emotions cannot be contained. Her vulnerability was a reflection of a family mourning not only the loss of a monarch, but also the loss of a beloved great-grandmother who had played a significant role in their lives. The presence of Charlotte and her brother George at the funeral carried profound symbolism. It underscored the continuity of the monarchy, showcasing the younger generation stepping into the public eye to honor their familial and royal legacy. Yet, amidst this symbolism, their attendance also highlighted the very personal nature of the day. These were not just heirs to a historic institution, but young children grappling with the reality of saying goodbye to Gan, as the Queen was affectionately known within the family. Charlotte's reaction, in particular, moved many around the world. Her visible tears served as a poignant reminder of the humanity behind the formality of the royal family. While the monarchy often seems distant and composed, especially during public events, moments like these reveal their shared experience of grief, pain, and love. It reminded the public that behind the crowns and titles are individuals who endured the same trials and emotions as everyone else. The scene of Charlotte wiping away her tears captured the hearts of people from all walks of life. Observers noted how Charlotte's reaction symbolized not only the end of an era with Queen Elizabeth II's passing, but also the deeply personal aspect of mourning a cherished family member. Her tears, though brief, held profound significance. They spoke volumes about the bond she shared with her great-grandmother, a woman who had lived an extraordinary life of duty and service. For Charlotte, these emotions were likely not just about the weight of the occasion, but also the memories and moments she had shared with the Queen. These moments, perhaps quiet afternoons at Balmoral, playful exchanges during family gatherings, or simply the warmth of a loving presence, would now live on only in her heart. For many, Charlotte's reaction evoked memories of similar moments in royal history. Comparisons were drawn to her father, Prince William, and uncle, Prince Harry, who as young boys walked behind the coffin of their mother, Princess Diana, during her funeral in 1997. The world had witnessed their grief and admired their courage, and now a new generation of royals was being called upon to navigate the delicate balance between public duty and personal loss. This balance is particularly challenging for children, who must contend with emotions that are often overwhelming, all while under the unrelenting gaze of the world. Queen Elizabeth II's passing was not just the loss of a monarch, but also the loss of a matriarch who had held the family together through decades of change and challenge. To her great-grandchildren, she was not the figure on postage stamps or the subject of official portraits, but a loving and constant presence in their lives. Her impact extended beyond her public role into the hearts of her family, leaving behind a legacy of love, resilience, and tradition that will undoubtedly shape the younger generation. Charlotte's tears reminded the world of the depth of this loss, both for the royal family and for the nation. They symbolize the end of a remarkable chapter in history, as well as the beginning of a new one. As the monarchy transitions into this new era under King Charles III, moments like Charlotte's display of emotion serve as a powerful reminder of the humanity at the heart of the institution. In the days and years to come, the image of Princess Charlotte wiping away her tears will likely remain etched in the collective memory. It will serve as a poignant reminder of the shared experiences that unite us all: grief, love, and the enduring bonds of family. At its core, it is this humanity that makes the monarchy relatable and enduring, even in the face of monumental change. Photos and videos of the young Princess Charlotte quickly began to circulate across social media platforms, capturing the attention and hearts of people around the world. The sight of the 7-year-old at such a momentous and solemn event drew widespread admiration and sympathy. People commended her bravery and composure, particularly given the enormous significance of the day and the emotional weight it carried. It was no small task for a child to attend a state funeral of such historical magnitude, let alone maintain the dignity and grace that Charlotte displayed throughout the proceedings. The fact that she, along with her older brother, Prince George, stood side by side with their family, facing not only the loss of their great-grandmother, but also the gaze of the entire world, was a testament to their strength. Charlotte's visible expressions of sadness, the moment she wiped away a tear, added a layer of humanity and relatability to a day that might otherwise have felt distant or overly formal to many observers. For countless people watching watching from afar, her genuine reaction made the day feel even more poignant. While the funeral was steeped in centuries-old royal traditions and meticulous ceremonial detail, moments like Charlotte's reminded everyone that beneath the pomp and pageantry was a grieving family experiencing a deeply personal loss. Her vulnerability resonated with many who could see in her the universal emotions of sorrow and love, bringing a relatable element to an event of immense historical significance. Equally moving to many were the glimpses of parental support and care demonstrated by her parents, William and Kate, the Prince and Princess of Wales. Throughout the day, their quiet, reassuring presence provided a source of comfort and strength for their children, a role that was not lost on observers. While fulfilling their significant royal duties, William and Kate remained attentive to the needs of their young son and daughter, skillfully balancing their public responsibilities with their roles as parents. One particularly touching moment that stood out to many was when Kate was seen leaning down to comfort Charlotte. This small yet meaningful gesture encapsulated the balance between royal duty and parental instinct, showcasing the humanity that defines even the most public-facing family. These glimpses of tenderness amid the formality of the occasion served as a poignant reminder of the close-knit bond within the family. The public's admiration extended not only to Charlotte, but also to her parents for the way they guided and supported their children through such an emotionally charged day. It was clear that both children had been thoughtfully prepared for the occasion, not just in terms of their attire or understanding of protocol, but also in terms of navigating the complex emotions of loss and grief. William and Kate's efforts to ensure their children felt secure while honoring their great-grandmother did not go unnoticed. Observers also noted how the inclusion of Charlotte and George in the funeral underscored their future roles within the royal family. As the second and third in line to the throne, their presence symbolized the continuity of the monarchy and the importance of preparing the next generation for the responsibilities they will one day inherit. Yet, even with this symbolism in mind, their participation remained, at its heart, an act of familial love and respect for their great-grandmother, Queen Elizabeth II. The images of Kate comforting Charlotte and the way both children held themselves with quiet dignity throughout the day became powerful visual narratives of the family's unity and resilience. It was a poignant reminder of how the royal family, despite their unique position in the public eye, experiences the same joys and sorrows as any other family. In moments like these, their humanity shone through, bridging the gap between monarchy and everyday life. On social media and in news commentary, many reflected on how the day's events highlighted the strength of the Prince and Princess of Wales as parents. The way they managed to both uphold their royal duties and provide emotional support for their children was widely praised. It demonstrated not only their ability to lead, but also their commitment to nurturing their family during a time of immense change and loss. For many, these moments of vulnerability and care captured the essence of what made the funeral of Queen Elizabeth II so deeply moving. It was not just a state occasion marking the end of a historic reign. It was also a family saying goodbye to their matriarch. In Charlotte's visible grief, in the tender gestures of her parents, and the quiet strength of the family as a whole, people saw reflections of their own experiences of love and loss. As the day drew to a close and the final ceremonies were performed, the images of Princess Charlotte and her family lingered in the minds of many. They served as a poignant reminder of the enduring power of familial love and support, even in the face of immense public scrutiny. Through her quiet tears and her parents' gentle reassurances, the world saw not just a royal family, but a family bound by love and loss, navigating their grief together with grace and humanity. For all its grandeur and historical significance, it was these moments of connection and emotion that left the deepest impression on those who watched. Charlotte's courage, George's quiet composure, and William and Kate's unwavering support highlighted the enduring strength of the family during a profoundly difficult time. It was a powerful reminder that even amidst the weight of tradition and history, it is the simple acts of love and care that resonate the most. Prince William and Princess Kate have always made a conscious effort to provide their children with as normal a childhood as possible, despite their royal status. Understanding the importance of maintaining a sense of normalcy and balance amidst their public lives, they have taken steps to shield their children from the overwhelming pressures of royal duties while still preparing them for their eventual roles. This careful approach to parenting, focusing on grounding their children in family values and tradition, was evident in their decision to include their eldest children, George and Charlotte, in the funeral of Queen Elizabeth II. The Queen's passing marked not only the end of an era for the monarchy, but also also a personal loss for William, Kate, and their children. Bringing George and Charlotte to such a significant and emotionally charged event was, undoubtedly, a thoughtful and purposeful decision by William and Kate. It was not just about fulfilling royal obligations or maintaining public appearances. Rather, it was an opportunity for their children to connect with their family's traditions, to pay their respects to a beloved great-grandmother, and to learn firsthand the importance of honoring those who came before them. Despite the formality and grandeur of the occasion, it was, at its heart, a deeply personal and familial event, offering the young royals a chance to witness and participate. Experts in child psychology have long emphasized the importance of involving children in family rituals, especially during significant events like funerals. Such occasions provide an essential framework for children to process emotions like grief, loss, and sadness healthily and constructively. Children are naturally impressionable, and family rituals, when approached with care and openness, can help them understand the concept of mortality and the importance of honoring the memories of loved ones. Rather than shielding George and Charlotte from the sorrow of the occasion, William and Kate's decision to bring them to the funeral allowed their children to see grief as a natural part of life, a process that everyone, no matter their age or status, must eventually navigate. The royal family, often seen as an emblem of composure and tradition, provided a unique example for the children of how to cope with loss in a public setting. William and Kate, while processing their grief, showed George and Charlotte the importance of showing respect for their great-grandmother through their presence at the ceremony, while also encouraging the children to express their emotions in a healthy and age-appropriate way. By allowing their children to witness their emotional vulnerability, the couple demonstrated that it's okay to feel sadness, and that acknowledging those feelings is an essential part of healing. This moment of emotional openness was significant, not only for George and Charlotte, but also for those watching around the world. The royal family, despite their often stoic public image, were given a chance to show their human side, to demonstrate empathy and resilience in the face of loss. The fact that William and Kate did not shield their children from the sadness of the day, but rather allowed them to engage with it, reinforced the idea that mourning is a shared experience that transcends status, wealth, or position. They set a powerful example for their children by teaching them that it is through acknowledging and expressing grief that one can ultimately heal. Kate's moments of comforting Charlotte throughout the ceremony were particularly telling. During a highly publicized and solemn event, where so many eyes were on them, Kate's quiet reassurance to her daughter was a tender reminder that parenting is not about perfection, but about presence. Her support for Charlotte during such a difficult moment reflected the deep love and care she has for her children, showing them how to hold space for both their own emotions and those of others. It was a gesture that many viewers found moving, offering not just comfort, but also teaching an important lesson about emotional resilience. By involving their children in such a momentous occasion, William and Kate also allowed George and Charlotte to witness firsthand the values that Queen Elizabeth II embodied throughout her reign: duty, service, respect, and honor. Though the Queen's role was largely public, her influence on her great-grandchildren was profound. For George and Charlotte, this experience will likely be an important one as they grow up, both in terms of their connection to the late Queen and their understanding of the responsibilities they will one day inherit. The decision to allow their children to openly express grief also set a crucial precedent for future generations of the royal family. It suggested that vulnerability and openness are not weaknesses, but strengths, an approach that is especially important for young people growing up in the spotlight. The experience of losing a loved one is a universal one, and by showing George and Charlotte how to navigate such a moment with compassion and grace, William and Kate gave them valuable tools for facing life's inevitable challenges. In the end, the funeral of Queen Elizabeth II became much more than just a public event. It was an opportunity for the royal family to come together as a family in mourning, sharing their grief with the world, while also passing down important lessons about love, loss, and legacy. For William and Kate, the decision to involve their children was an intentional one, rooted in the understanding that participation in family rituals and the open expression of grief are vital components of healthy emotional development. By bringing George and Charlotte to the funeral and supporting them through the difficult moments of the day, they gave their children a lasting example of empathy, resilience, and the importance of family traditions. Princess Charlotte's tearful moment during Queen Elizabeth II's funeral is likely to remain etched in memory for years to come. It was a rare and moving display of vulnerability from a young royal, offering a glimpse into the humanity of a family often perceived as distant and formal due to their ceremonial roles and public duties. Charlotte's quiet tears stood as a poignant reminder that, behind the grandeur of their titles and the weight of tradition, the royal family is, above all, a family, one that experiences loss, grief, and love like everyone else. This emotional moment resonated deeply with viewers around the world, who saw in Charlotte's reaction a universal experience of mourning. Her visible sadness during such a monumental occasion served to highlight the balance between the royal obligation to maintain composure and the undeniable human instinct to grieve. It was a touching moment that brought a sense of relatability to a highly publicized event steeped in tradition. As the royal family moves forward, moments like these play an essential role in bridging the gap between the institution and the public. They serve as a reminder that even amidst the grandeur of state ceremonies, it is the raw, personal moments that truly connect and endure.